This is my favorite loom. And they started making this. It does the same action as a floor loom. But I could sit in the evenings, I just prop it on my lap, put my feet on my hassock, and just weave. I started, and this was the first piece I did. And it's a jacket. And it's just a plain weave, and I just put it on my collar and then added it to the bottom. And so I go buy an Inkle loom, and this is an Inkle loom. I went and bought some yarn, and y'all have seen it. I have done these show and tell before, and I used that little Inkle loom, and I made this trim. Oh, wow. Okay. So I take another class, and there's this little plastic heddle that goes up and down and up and down, and you get patterns. I said, oh, I need patterns. And I got a book that says I can put 4 colors together. Whoa. So then I had this last year, and so I used this little thing going up and down, and it made this pattern. So then I had to buy a larger loom. This is a rigid Heddle loom, the same as this one, but it is, I can do a wider piece. But anyway, so what I want to do today with you is just kind of show you how each of these looms operate. Okay, so if everybody would come up here, and I'll show you how just a basic weaving loom works. In a floor loom, what they have is this is the warp, okay, and they have smaller spaces, but the loom is more, it's not rigid, it's a floating type, and they put the yarns all the way through here, and they weight it down, and then it is weighted down at the foot, and so you're moving the heddles. This is called a heddle. They're more floating. You're moving they're tied to pedals, and you get the different things by moving the first pedal, second pedal, third pedal, fourth pedal. And rigid Heddle loom can do almost everything. I can actually put another heddle right here, and so I can double it. I could end it up. Looms are called shafts. They're called shafts. We call these heddles, and I can get it to imitate a 4-shaft loom, which can be pretty close together. But it just basically works. This is neutral position, and then this is the up position. Okay? And then, so I always start on my right, so I always know up is to the right on this heddle with this loom. And I go in, and I pull it like that, and have it as a little bit of an angle. And then I take it down and I push. Then I put it in the down position. And then I see it out. Okay, I'll straighten it out a little bit. And maybe I'll push again. Put it back down. And then now the weft is in the other yarns are up. Yeah. Okay, so then I go through here. Push, put it in the up. This is detachable, so what I can do is I could even lean it on a table and have it in my lap, lean against the table, and that's the way they do the workshops. Okay, and then I just push down. This is just your plain weaving, and I've made pillows, you know, because they can be this wide, and I did this with rags. I used this loom for the rags. You buy heddles that are different spacing apart. Oh. Some are smaller, some are wider.
Okay.
And how do you get so if you want it, how close together you want your warp. So what I'm saying, if you want to make it look like a linen fabric that's a really tight weave fabric, you can get 2 heddles and they're going through both of those so it gets it really tight.
You can weave a double width of fabric. It is fascinating. how
Really?
that
Yes.
works.
Double
But-
width of
Oh.
fabric.
Yeah.
Wow. And so when you
So if it's 30 wide, you can get 60.
Yeah.
you take it off, it unfolds into.
Uh-huh. And this one, okay, so there's a book of different patterns. Okay, and so in this one, I'm following the patterns, and I do have to pull it up and down for the patterns all the way across. And here is my little shuttle, and it's a nice for making patterns because you can reach down and top. Now this heddle has 3 rows. Do you see the dark blue? It's the row in the middle, and it's the pattern that's going to come to surface. And so I have this picture of this little heart, and it says first don't do any of the pattern. So I don't do any of the pattern, and I come through. And I use, and what I'll do to keep it all the same width, I just cut up a plastic bottle and marked it, and it shows the width. Okay. And with this one, then I go down, and it says to pick up the 5th blue. I'm doing the bottom of the heart, so I pick up the 5th one, and I go across. And with this one, I don't pull the shuttle back and forth. I use this
For weaving.
for pushing it. So I push it tight here, and then I pull on through. And this time he says for me to pick up numbers 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I go all the way across, and I push and make it tight, and go on. And then I go down. And this one I started up from the left, and now for the right.
Yeah, you're the opposite.
So I'm on the 3rd one here, and it says do 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, then I'll click 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then go across. So I'm under, you can see I'm under the blues, but I've picked up the darker ones. Okay? And I keep doing that. Now since this is this Inkle loom, now Inkle loom is known, it's the traditional band weaving. If somebody, and you can do it this way, you can do it this way, you can do whatever's comfortable for you. But with this weaving, the heddles are string heddles. And with this weaving, what you do is you pull so the heddles are up and the heddles are down.
Just with your hand.
You're doing it with your fingers. Now what I found with this weaving is I can't get a design going on this plain doing it just like this. They just haven't worked for me. One reason I don't pull it tight enough, but you can do, but I can get a design with the SUNNA Heddle. I was very pleased with that, but you can't get the design. So basically, this is the one that was in that Threads magazine. You know, and so let me just go down. This is the same as the SUNNA Heddle in on the shuttle. You push it. So now you turn them forward once.
Okay.
Stick my thumb in there. Put this in here. Beat it. Pull out. Turn it in. Put my thumb in. And look, we can use all these colors. Like in the SUNNA, it didn't know I could do all these colors. Turn again. Forward.
You can't do that on
Show it.
demonstrate.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay, so then here.
Last
Keep
mine was already
turning
warped. You
them
didn't have to work.
clockwise.
Yeah. Okay, do
You
that
worked
last
your
one.
own.
Pull it. And now notice I'm back to my A's here.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to go backwards.
Okay.
And then you just
That's
turn
what the
back.
pattern said.
Because that's what the pattern said. And you go through. And that's just, so notice this is back up to A. So if you want to try it, it's fine. You'll just go through the whole pattern on trying it. Go forward, 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 back. Make sure you do A. Well, I found this pattern on Pinterest and did it to make this.
So you'd make that with the card thing?
Uh-huh. So before I warp that huge loom, I will make a little sample. And this is what I did for my
This
rag
is your
rug.
muslin.
This is my muslin, yes. And this is my rag rug. You know, I used some green fabric, some white sheet, and then some pink and blue flower fabric is what goes with this. Okay? The white jacket is what goes with this. And then the other jacket what goes with that. So y'all are welcome to play and just see. This is knitting yarn, you know, but it is a little firmer, and I could easily use it in the weft. The warp has to be a worsted yarn that does not have any give to it. Okay? It cannot really be the knitting yarn. Acrylic yarns really aren't good at all.
Okay.
Your weave can be all different fabrics, like it was just scrap fabric.
Yeah, okay.
But the warp has to be taut.